Today we're going to be changing the brake pads on my mountain bike. These are an Elixer type brake pad. Each brake system is slightly different, so some of the information might not be applicable to other brake types. Okay, so here we've got our tools that we're going to need. We've got the Allen keys, we've got our special Elixer tool to open the bleed valve, we've got our wheel spacer, our spare set of brake pads and a screwdriver. Okay, we're going to need to open the bleed valve, which is actually just located just here. It's a small circular sort of screw, and it's got like an Allen key fitting, but it's a star shape. We're going to need our special tool that we've picked up from our local bike shop that's going to undo this bleed valve. Now, if we undo the bleed valve as it is now, the fluid's just going to flow straight out. So what we want to do is bring the brake lever up so it's up in the air and it won't just run out. It's pretty simple. On the top here it's just a couple of Allen keys. Now whenever I touch my brakes without the wheel in, the wheel's already been removed, I always put the spacer in because you always, or inadvertently, knock the brake lever and then you've got a whole pain in the bum of having to bleed the brakes. Okay. So I'll just loosen that off, and I'm going to tighten one of these back up so it stays upright. Okay. So now my bleed valve is raised up. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to open this bleed valve just slightly, just so that we get a tiniest little amount of fluid out. Okay, I've wrapped a t-shirt around here just in case some of the brake fluid comes out. I'm inserting the special tool into this little screw here, and I'm going to turn it. Okay. Alright. Just a little tiny twist. Sometimes they can be pretty hard to get undone to start with. Okay. Okay, now I'm just seeing a couple of drops, which means that our pistons are getting pushed back in. Closing our bleed valve up. Now this is the next stage. Okay, we've got to replace the actual brake pads now. Okay, if we have a look. So in the packet, what we're going to get is got the instructions. Okay, have a read of these because they'll give you a good understanding. And then we've got the replacement brake pads. Okay, so there's a little piece of cardboard inside the two brake pads. Okay, they're held together just with a little tape. Okay, this is the brake pad sandwich. Okay, so we're going to slot this straight in at the end. We've also got a replacement screw and a replacement E-clip. Okay, and the first step is to take the E-clip off the brakes that are on the bike. It's on the inside. Okay, just screw it up, grab it up. Now you need a really small Allen key here, just on the top. Smaller Allen key. From the back, these should just slide out nice and easily. Alright, so we can see we've got our worn brake pads and our brake pad sandwich. Okay, there's basically no brake pad at all left on those. And the next step is to undo your new brake pad sandwich. Okay, so I've taken our clip off, we've got our cardboard spacer. And what I like to do is I like to test to see that my space is going to go in, okay? I can see right now that the space is not going in, which means that my disc is not going to go in. so the pistons are not far enough back into the housing. And I'm just putting these back in just for a second so that I can move those pistons further out and not damage my new brake pads. Okay, now I'm going to open this bleed valve again, a little bit more this time. So I'm keeping an eye on the bleed valve. I can see there's already a drop there. I need to get these further out, so I need to really everything. But these brake pads slide in and out really easily, so it doesn't matter if it takes a few goes to get it right. You're better off to put the old brake pads back in just so you don't damage the surface of your new ones. But what I've got to do is I've got to put my new screw and my new E-clip on. So the screw, if you remember, goes through from the outside right through the sandwich. Okay, and I get out a tiny little Allen key, screw that in. Okay. Now, lift her up. Okay, so the final job is making sure that we've closed our bleed valve off. So you want to double check that it's nice and tight and closed off. Okay, and then we have to realign our brake levers. So that's a quick job. Now I have got my spacer in place because this is the time that you forget that you have and you give your brakes a squeeze, so you want to make sure they're nice and level and even. Okay. Your hand. Make sure you do them up nice and tight or you're going to have slipping. Okay. With a nice tight pressure.